Evening, everybody, and welcome to Carving Up Live right here on YouTube, as well as on Facebook, Twitch, X, and on Instagram. I'm Bryson Carver. This is an emergency podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I've just gotten back from vacation. I'm tanned. I've been in a really good mood for the last week, laying on the beach, enjoying life, watching my Red Sox win 15 in a row to tie the all-time franchise record, feeling good about myself. Seeing, as much as I criticize Aaron Rodgers, seeing the pictures, he's reuniting with his family. That's great. It's been a great week. And then I see the news, LeBron James ain't going to the Warriors. And I'm pissed off about it. But you know what? We're going to save that for about 30 minutes from now. From start to finish, for 80% of the show, this is a LeBron James going to the Philadelphia 76ers reaction show. Obviously going to get into the meat of it. It's going to be carving up the context. My man, my good friend Sal Campisi is going to be joining us in about 45 minutes. He was one of my debate partners at House of Highlights. Diehard Sixers fan, diehard LeBron fan. He is over the freaking moon, as you might imagine, that his team brought in LeBron James. Have him on to react to it. Also, I did want to touch on, because we'll be off for a while after the show. We do have, again, not really an announcement. It's already been announced, but just a reminder for what's coming over the next few months on Carving It Up. But also, I did want to discuss this recent Caitlin Clark situation that's happened in the last few weeks. But this is mostly going to be a LeBron James show. So chime in the comments. I want to know what y'all think about it. Let me know what y'all think about my takes or about the move in general. Let's get right into it with LeBron James. But first, it finally happened. Before this entire free agency process, looked like LeBron James was going to wait until it's too late. He was going to wait until the day before open night and then just come out Willis Reed style, maybe not as a Knick, but come out in his New Jersey, and that was going to be the announcement. But I think it is fitting that he made the move that he did to the Philadelphia 76ers. I'll explain exactly why on this week's edition to start the show on Carving Up the Context. So, as the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, primetime Deion Sanders says, give me my theme music. On this week's edition of Carving Up the Context, we're obviously talking about LeBron James signing today with the Philadelphia 76ers. And it is, a lot of folks are asking questions. LeBron put on social media saying that, hey, I thought when I left the court after my final game in a Lakers uniform, that was going to be my final game playing in the NBA. I thought it was done. I was done playing basketball, took some time, talked to family. He talked about the importance that had to make his decision, as you might understand, not just with his wife, Savannah, but now with his daughter, Zuri, who's had more say, obviously, in this decision than she has previous ones, with her getting older, and LeBron wants to be around her more. She's playing volleyball, all of that. And I think the reason LeBron went to Philadelphia, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's the same reason that Amazon went from being a book-selling company to being the retail juggernaut of world history. It's why Dolly Parton goes from being a great country music singer to a business mogul who has a theme park that wins multiple awards a year with some of the best roller coasters on planet Earth. It's why Michael Strahan is one of the greatest pass rushers of all time. And that's the thing he's second most known for, because his television career has been incredible. What do all of those individuals and companies and what have you have in common? LeBron James now going to the Philadelphia 76ers. What do those people have in common? They wanted a new challenge. They wanted something new. I mean, the thing is, for LeBron, it's funny that it's, Golden State, we'll get to the Warriors striking out LeBron later. Golden State, it's comfortable. It's close to home. Steph and Draymond are good friends with him, but are they a championship contender if they add LeBron? Even me as a Warriors fan has said, yeah, the Warriors still need to make another move in order for that to be a possibility, because even with LeBron, they can't beat San Antonio or OKC. Talking about Miami, yeah, you got Giannis and Bam. It's a good team. Yeah, LeBron, obviously the team gets better, but it's at best a clunky basketball fit. And let's be honest, no shooters. LeBron will have to kind of cross his fingers and hope Pat Riley can pull some strings to try and get some legitimate fitting pieces around LeBron James and around Giannis and Bam. It's comfortable. LeBron enjoyed living in Miami, but basketball-wise, it doesn't make that much sense. And Cleveland, I mean, don't get me started on Cleveland. You think LeBron James is just going to go to a worse version of what he was with the LA Lakers? two ball-dominant guards who are cones defensively and a coach who, let's be honest, kind of folds in the playoffs. But it's home. It's comfortable. It's the storybook ending. But is that what's best for LeBron? Is that what he truly wants? Because why is LeBron James still playing basketball at this particular point in his career, folks? Why is he doing this? It's not for money. He showed you that. He's just signed a 2-year, $8 million contract. The man's going to be making less money than Landry Shamet next season. No disrespect to the NBA champion Landry Shamet, but come on. It's not about the money. He's a billionaire. He's going to make $4 million this year playing for Philadelphia. It's not about awards. We're past that point in LeBron's career. His last MVP came in 2013. He should have gotten some after that, but that's the reality of it. Award season, that's over for one LeBron James. He's doing it because he loves the game of basketball. He loves to compete for championships, and of the 4 teams that had a realistic shot at getting LeBron, Philadelphia gave him the most realistic shot at winning a championship. Well, Bryce, he's ring chasing. Of course he is. Why is that a bad thing? Like this idea, folks talk about, oh man, I want my favorite athletes, man, they will win at all costs. I want my guys to win and my athletes to win and all of that. And then when an athlete makes a decision, he or she, to put themselves in the best position to win, oh my gosh, you're taking the easy route. First of all, no such thing as an easy route to winning an NBA championship. A lot has to go your way in order to get it done. That's number one. Number two, I mean, what's LeBron James supposed to do? Like, waste his time, waste the end of his career. It's in Cleveland. Watching James Harden choke away a playoff series in the second round? Is that really how LeBron James should end his career? Or playing, or being a less of a focal point in the Lakers offense to Austin Reeves? Good player, but again, it says LeBron freaking James. We're talking about LeBron James, who, yeah, he may not be prime LeBron, but, I did just watch him without Austin Reeves for most of the series and without Luka for all of the series. I did just watch him against the Houston Rockets beat them in a postseason series and dominate from start to finish. I did just watch that happen at age 41 in year 23. I did see that. Has LeBron Ramon James, who has put every ounce of it, sounds cliche, but blood, sweat, and tears into this beautiful game called basketball, has he not earned the right to end his career the way that he says that he wants to? Listen, did it take too long? Yeah, I'll be honest. It's like, buddy, it's July 21st. Like, man, you knew ahead of time. But do I think this was an incredibly difficult decision? Yes. But in some ways for LeBron, it kind of does make sense. Each stop in his career has been a situation where it's been a different challenge every time. Obviously, Cleveland the first stint, well, it's the hometown kid who's this prodigy, and he's winning MVPs. He goes to a finals in 2007, but the team just straight up isn't good enough. Then he goes to Miami. Oh my gosh, the pressure on the world on his shoulders, especially after you blow it in 2011. You go to Miami, it's like, oh my gosh, D. Wade and Chris Bosh and the Heatles, and it's a new challenge. You're trying to win a championship. Then you go back to Cleveland. You've already won your championship. That's done. Now you're trying to fulfill a promise. You do get that done. Then you go to Los Angeles. That was certainly a business decision, but that's still prime LeBron James. He was almost won league MVP his second year in Los Angeles. First fully healthy season as a Laker. And now in Philadelphia, it's not about the money, not about the awards. It's about winning. That's what LeBron's always been about. It's why that when the Cavs showed around 2017, 2018, that winning wasn't their priority when you trade Kyrie Irving for nothing, he's like, yeah, out of here. If you guys are not focused on winning, I think more superstars, I'm talking to you, Steph Curry. I love you, my man, but I'm going to talk about that later. I think more need to do that. Not necessarily, jumping ship. Folks, LeBron was with the Lakers for 8 years. It's not like he's going from team to team to team to team, like just is in undecided, going to wherever, wherever the grass looks greener, so to speak. And I think, too, for LeBron, and he mentioned this in his, in his social media post talking about why he went to Philadelphia. And we've talked about in the show. They won a title since the 80s. 1983. To me, it's one of the greatest teams ever. No one ever talks about that 83 Sixers team. We don't have to relitigate that. The point is, LeBron, listen, will he get the majority of the credit if Philadelphia goes on to win the championship? And we'll talk about, the chances to do that in a few minutes. Not the bulk. It'll be more, again, it'll be viewed similar to that 83 Sixers team. It's kind of like a collaborative effort. Yeah, he'll be the face. He'll be he'll be the Tom Hanks, so to speak, of the film. But it'll be the younger actors, the Jaylen Browns, the Tyrese Maxeys, the VJ Edgecombs of the world that are going to be getting the bulk of the playoff load, so to speak. LeBron James can show up, basically be the point guard role. Edgecombe would be kind of a small forward hybrid, so to speak. Maxey can play the 2 guard, obviously Embiid at the big, and Jaylen Brown. You don't have a legit 4, but that's okay. It's positionless basketball. You can fill in the gaps around Philadelphia's roster. So from a basketball standpoint, does it make as much sense as Golden State? No. Golden State was a better fit. But if it's about winning, and LeBron James said explicitly in his announcement to go to Philadelphia, I want to win a championship. Like, that's what this decision is about for me. I did a video on social media, put it out last week. I said, if that's what this is about, Philadelphia's a clear choice. Philadelphia followed by Miami, a big gap followed by Miami. Yeah, the high-end talent with the Heat is good. The basketball fit's terrible. Then it's Golden State, then it's Cleveland. Like, it's just, LeBron has earned the right to end his career however he wants to end it. And him going to Philadelphia, again, it feels new. It feels exciting. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a different chapter from LeBron that we haven't seen before. Cleveland, my gosh, he's been there twice, and he ditched them twice. I mean, that's what it is. Like, if Cleveland's so great, why'd you leave twice? Joakim Noah said it best back in the day. If Cleveland's so great, you ever tell your kids, hey, honey, pack up the kids. We're going on vacation to Cleveland, Ohio. Said no one ever. Okay? Golden State, it's close to LA. It's convenient. Steph and Draymond are good friends of yours. But you have played with Steph at the 2024 Olympics. By the way, some of the best, probably some of the funnest basketball you've ever played in your life. And then Miami, it's Miami, but if you think about LeBron's career, I mean, you think of him first, to me, this is how I think of him, at least. I think of him first as a Cav. This is going to sound crazy. His best high-end years were in Miami. I think of him next as a Laker. Big gap from Cleveland, but I think of him next as a Laker. Like, he was in Miami, clearly not just the best player on the team, but the best player in the world. That was D-Wade City. Like, it just was. In Philadelphia, it ain't nobody's city. It's not LeBron's city, not Jaylen Brown's city. He just got there. Maxey is an excellent player. He hasn't won anything. Joel Embiid, only MVP to never go to the conference finals. Like, that's where we're at. And so I personally, I love this for LeBron. I really do. I wish to God he would have chosen the Warriors. I'll get to that later in the show. But on this week's edition of Carving Up the Context, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. We're seeing, and to me, as a sports fan, absent my Warriors loyalty, as a sports fan, I crave new and exciting and, I've never seen this before. Let's see how it plays out. That's what this is for LeBron James. We don't know how this Philadelphia thing is going to work out. Basketball fit? Okay, makes sense on paper. Starting 5? Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Best starting 5 in the league. But then there's maybe some Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse has won a championship, but if you talk to Sixers fans, they've had some concerns about Nick Nurse in the past, understandably so, right? Like that, there's that aspect to it. There's the expectation of it's really a Northeast thing. New York, Boston, Philadelphia, they're the demanding fan bases. There's that component onto it. That makes it interesting and spicy. And can he help lift this city to its first championship in 4 decades? It's new. It's exciting. We've seen Cleveland twice. We've seen Miami. It won't be as good as it was before. It's obviously not, because LeBron's not the player he used to be. And this Miami Heat team is not as good as those early 2010s teams were. And then Golden State, listen, God and everybody knows I would have wanted to see that happen. Steph and LeBron playing an 82-game season in the playoffs, heck yeah. Beyond that, Philadelphia is the funnest experiment, the funnest fit for LeBron. So I love it. I think it's going to be a great fit. And I think at the end of the day, it makes all the sense in the world for LeBron James to make this decision. It looks like we're dealing with some connection issues, so I apologize if we're dealing with any problems. Wi-Fi's been fine, I think. The Wi-Fi, my monitor says, or my computer says it's fine. I'm looking at the monitor up here. Looks like it's getting a little better. But yeah, and then as soon as we get that checked out, we'll talk about the LeBron to Philly, or about the Philadelphia's chances to win the title. Tell you what, again, due to the connection issues, why don't we take a 1-minute break, just 1-minute break, come back, and then discuss Philadelphia's chances to win a championship. So it's like a 1-minute break. I'm not sure whatever's going on. We'll try and get it, knocked out in the next minute or so. Come back on Carving Up Live. Just 1 minute. Hey, okay, my mic's back. So lost my mic for a second. Yeah, we're dealing with some technical difficulties. I apologize. Looks like the connection's fine. Just need to get the Wi-Fi, fire back up. But listen, it's, again, going back to what I said earlier, it's exciting, it's new, it's fresh, it's something we haven't seen before with LeBron's career. I'm in. Would have loved to see him go to the Warriors. But as a sports fan, it's something original. So I'm down for it. And again, anybody who's criticizing LeBron, oh, he's ring chasing. I've never understood for the life of me why that's viewed as like a shot on your basketball characters. Like, oh, took the easy way out. That to me tells, oh, okay, so they don't actually know how difficult it is to win a championship. Like that, they just don't know. Because it's hard. Like, if nothing else, so many things has to go your way that's totally out of your control to win a title. That's why I always reject this team has an asterisk next to their title. Okay, then everybody does. Because you know what? Every team had in their favor health. To some degree, they had their players healthy. And so, if this decision was about winning, which don't you kind of admire that from LeBron? Like, he's not just going to rest on his laurels. He's not, oh, Cleveland, it's the old... It's nostalgic, and that's where it's supposed to end. And he's like, hell no, I'm trying to compete for a champ. I'm trying to go out with another ring. And honestly, I really do believe, and I speculated about this on the show, I think LeBron will play 2 more years. I do think he'll play out this contract. 2 years, $8 million with the 76ers. I think he's going to play it out. Finish his career in 2028, year 25. Play a quarter century in the NBA. I think he's going to do it. He may deny it. I think he's going to do it. For Philadelphia, though, this is where it's interesting. So obviously, again, it's the best starting 5 in all of basketball. That goes without saying. I mean, when you've got Tyrese Maxey, VJ, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid, that's pretty strong. And it says a lot that, according to multiple reports, Philadelphia wasn't really on LeBron's radar until the Jaylen Brown trade. So you have to wonder, okay, if they don't make that trade, or if Jaylen Brown had gone to the Denver Nuggets or something. I know Denver had been mentioned as a potential suitor for LeBron, a potential suitor in a trade with Jaylen Brown, a lot of what ifs. The reality is he's a Sixer. Can they win these? Well, they obviously can win these. That goes without saying. Are they better than the New York Knicks? In terms of raw talent, by a hair, I think so. But as we know, winning a championship, all that goes into that is not just, hey, you got the best roster on 2K. No, it's got to fit. It's got to work. And I think early, it will be a work in progress. Like, I could see Philadelphia maybe getting off to like a 500 start in their first, 20 games or so. It's like, oh, what's wrong with the Sixers? That'd be a topic on shows like mine. I think if by January, this to me is where it's interesting. Because I think I said this before LeBron came. There's one move Philadelphia needs to make. And it's not only difficult from an organizational standpoint, it's not only difficult from can they move this contract standpoint. I think to maximize what this team can do, to maximize what you can get out of LeBron James playing for your team and trying to win a championship, I think you have to trade Joel Embiid. I've said that ever since, I said that during the playoffs where even Jaylen Brown was a possibility, much less LeBron James, is that, yes, Joel Embiid is great. Here's the problem. Last 3 years, he's played 96 basketball games in the regular season. That's 39% of possible games played. Like, that's his body. He's 32. Like, he's only that in theory should be kind of like for a big guy, probably like the end of his prime, but he should still be, oh my gosh, dominating the league, being at least a fringe MVP candidate. And now we called Anthony Davis Coin Flip Davis. We're going to have to call him Coin Flip Joel. Like, his availability is actually less than a coin flip. It's more often than not, he's unavailable. 39% of games played in the last 3 seasons. Not only just the availability component onto it, but the fact that he plays a style of basketball. I think it hurts a team when guards play it, much less big guys. That is ball-centric. That is almost in some ways, free throw line in. Embiid can shoot, obviously. He's an excellent shooter. But free throw line in is like James Harden with the Houston Rockets. Jab step, dribble, pump fake, pump. Like, it's a lot of theatrics, so to speak. Not much happens in the offense. Defense doesn't have to adjust that much. And Joel Embiid, more often than not, gets the better of the matchup because he's a great player. Because he's an MVP of the league back in 2023, because he's a scoring champion. That's why. But it's also part of the reason that he's worn down the playoffs, because they've been so reliant on him. Well, Bryson, they won't be as reliant on him because they got, obviously, Maxi's excellent. The Edgecombe will get better. You got LeBron, Jaylen Brown. It won't be as big of a problem. Or will it? What will Joel Embiid's role be on the team if Jaylen Brown's going to be, Brown and Maxey are going to be your primary scorers, like they are. Edgecombe will give you, he can give you. He obviously played excellent in the playoffs. And LeBron is going to be, I would imagine, we'll see how the fit works out, the primary ball handler and distributor, decision maker. Give you 18, 20 points a night. Where does that leave Embiid? And when Embiid is out, that changes completely how you play. And if we know anything, if the Knicks showed us anything last year, it's that to a certain degree, talent matters. Knicks are a very talented basketball team. Team chemistry, the fit working, man, that's important. It just is. And if it's throughout the regular season and especially come playoff time, come first round, come second round, when you're taking on the Knicks or the Cavs or Detroit, or who knows, maybe assuming the Kawhi trade goes through to Toronto, any of those teams that are legitimately scared that can beat you in a 7-game series, let's not forget that the series, no Jaylen Brown, no LeBron James, but that series when the Sixers played the Knicks wasn't even competitive. Like, it was not a competitive series. And B was in and out of the lineup. Like, that's a concern. Like, you cannot realistically have a shot at winning a title if one of the key aspects of your lineup, you don't know if he's going to be there. And when he is there versus when he's not, your style of play changes completely. It's why I remember back in the day, I didn't have a show back then, but I remember back in the day, it was a question, are the Warriors better without Kevin Durant? It's like, guys, they're not better without a 4-time scoring champion and a league MVP in his prime. They're not better without him. But because KD was such a seamless fit into the lineup, they didn't have to really change anything. Like, Steph got more shots, Clay got more. That was it. Steph and Clay just shot more. Like, as far as the style of play offensively, it changed completely. Go back and watch Philadelphia last year, just in the playoffs against Boston. And I'd agree against the Knicks. Yes, they came back from 3-1 once Embiid came back. But the style of play was totally different. And I know LeBron James, maybe the rationale is LeBron's probably the smartest basketball player ever. He'll just find a way to make it work. I mean, the Lakers with Luka and Austin Reeves, way worse basketball fit. He, generally speaking, kind of made it work. Wasn't LeBron at his best. Wasn't LeBron on the ball a lot of times. But he generally made it work. Then he can make this work. Like, that might be the rationale to those that are like, if you're worried about the Joel Embiid fit, hey, guy going into year 24, age 42, smartest player ever, he'll find a way to get it done. He'll find a way to figure it out. That very well might be the case. Somebody will take on Joel Embiid. Now, what we get in return, obviously you're probably not trying to get draft picks necessarily. I think you're in a spot, if you are Philadelphia, where maybe you're trying to run at your bench, get more shooters. The fact, again, this has kind of gotten swept under the rug because the bigness, so to speak, the LeBron move. They signed Anthony Simons a couple of weeks ago. Excellent shooter. So being able to fill in some of the gaps in the roster, like, you are in really good shape in terms of the depth if you go ahead and move Joel Embiid and get some good ancillary pieces that fit around the big four that you've got. That, and just to put it mildly and bluntly, Joel Embiid's not very good in the playoffs. You can blame that on health. You can blame that on a lot of factors. Joel Embiid has not been a good postseason performer. He hasn't. Again, only league MVP ever to have never gone to a conference finals. Jaylen Brown's finals MVP. All right, Tyrese Maxey has played great in the playoffs. Edgecombe's young. He's shown the moment isn't too big for him. LeBron, his resume speaks for itself. Like, it feels like, to a degree, if this thing goes south, and I'm not saying by go south, I mean, losing in round 2. Like, that would be, to me, a disaster. If you lose the Eastern Conference Finals in like a Game 7 classic at MSG, okay, it's the defending champions. They played together for a while. Jalen Brunson's the best player in the series. Okay. But if you lose in round 2 to a Detroit, a Toronto, a Cleveland, oh gosh, can you imagine what the Bron haters would say then? All of those things. That would be a disaster. If this thing goes south, to me, it's because the Joel Embiid question mark never got answered. And the Philadelphia 76ers never tried to answer it. And by the way, I'm not suggesting they trade Embiid before the season. I am not. I think they should try and see if this works. Again, the health thing is always going to be a question, but the fit thing, you can get that worked out in training camp, obviously the limited preseason, first few months of the season. But if by trade deadline you're like, there's a deal out there, maybe teams are calling Philadelphia, they're calling teams, whatever. There's a deal out there that we're like, obviously, what we get back in return is not equivalent of Joel Embiid it's just for a raw talent upside perspective, but it fits our team better. It does. And so you pull the trigger and you make that move. I mean, there's been some, I was talking to my buddy Grady Edwards earlier, he was suggesting, and I've heard some reports that have speculated on this, like it's on the board because the LeBron and AD to the Warriors rumors had persisted over the last few weeks. Hey, maybe the Sixers trade for Anthony Davis. Just do a swap. 80 for Joel Embiid. That's a way better basketball fit. AD's not a ball-dominant player. AD is going to just really be your defensive anchor, and when he gives you 25, he gives you 25. Great. But he's not going to be the focal point of the offense, nor does he necessarily want to be. So Philadelphia's got a lot of flexibility in terms of what they can do here. But I think just my overall takeaway on this is, again, absent, I'll get to my Warriors frustration in just a few minutes. Trust me, I will get to it. But as a guy who's a fan of LeBron James, loves the NBA, loves new stories in sports, this is new, this is fun, this is exciting. I don't know how it's going to play out. I know the upside is absolutely off the charts. Can you imagine if LeBron James goes from, wins back-to-back titles in Miami, pulls off the unthinkable, winning a championship in freaking Cleveland, Ohio, of all places, going to the Lakers and taking them from the drugs of the NBA to champions 2 years later, and then goes to Philly and does it? Come on now. Come on. So very excited for all of it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I do want to discuss my Warriors side of this. Because I got some things to say about it. We're going to take a quick break. I got some things to say about it. We're going to take a break. Welcome back to Carving Up Live. Appreciate everybody for stopping by on an emergency show Friday. Again, I was literally traveling home from vacation today, and I get to LeBron. He's like, "Holy crap, we got to do a show tonight as soon as I get back home." Again, we'll be taking some time off after today's show, barring like any crazy Warriors news, which at this point I don't necessarily expect. But let's talk about the Warriors. Let's just go and get that out of the way. Because then Sal's going to join us in about 15 minutes or so, and he's going to lift my spirits, and I'm sure he's over the moon right now, excited. I'm going to need to talk to this guy after I get done with this. So here's the thing. In life generally, I tend to be very forgiving's not totally false, but I guess the better way to say it is I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I don't like to see the worst in people. To me, that's just a cynical way to look at life, and that's no good. And ever since Mike Dunleavy Jr. took the job in Golden State in 2023 when Bob Myers left, my mindset is, well, okay, he's not Bob. Bob's not working in Philadelphia, helped get LeBron James there. But hey, he's learned behind him. Osmosis. Can't hurt to have this guy in the building to make the decisions and try and maximize the rest of Steph's prime, right? Well, since that point, since he took over the job as the general manager of the Golden State Warriors, they lost the play-in tournament to the Sacramento Kings as a 10 seed. They made the Jimmy Butler trade. I maintain to this day that if Steph Curry's hamstring doesn't go out, they at least go to the Western Conference Finals in 2025, if not further. If you go back and watch, that Warriors team gave OKC all kinds of problems without Jimmy Butler, much less with him. And then last year, season from hell. Steph goes down, Jimmy goes down. Season from Moses Moody goes down, season from hell. You lose in the play-in tournament again. So thus far, not great just in terms of the raw team results. What I want to talk about, though, is that I think it's pretty much unanimous opinion that unanimous is funny. I use that word because the Golden State Warriors happen to employ the only unanimous MVP in the history of the National Basketball Association by the name of Steph Curry. And I don't know if you saw, but even despite the injury last year, pretty good. Yeah, averaged 26 a game. Had that play-in tournament game against the Clippers where he dropped 34, 22 points in the second half, hit the go-ahead jumper with under a minute to go. He's still great. Is he prime 2016 Steph? Yeah, of course not. He's 38 years old, going to be 39 next season, going into year 18. He's still phenomenal. Why do I say that? Because what the Golden State Warriors have done, or more aptly, what they have not done in the last 3 years with this man and their team, is a basketball abomination. There's no two ways about it. That's what it is. In the last 3 years, they have missed out or have just straight up not pursued the following players that teams were interested in either doing deals with them or players were interested in doing deals with them for the following guys. Pascal Siakam, champion, all-star, kind of helped the Pacers go to a finals 2 years ago. Could have pursued OG Anunoby. Oh, you think the Knicks are happy to have OG today? I'd say so. But you didn't want to give up your prized asset, Jonathan Kuminga, who is still, let me check my notes, is still unsigned today. Free agent, no one signed Jonathan Kuminga. You wouldn't trade him for OG Anunoby from the Toronto Raptors. He goes to the Knicks. It's worked out okay for New York. Lauri Markkanen, hey, big that can stretch the floor and shoot. No, we're good. We'll keep Brandon Podziemski. Nice player, but come on. Not a need on the team. You go from there. Michael Porter Jr. is a guy that they've been linked to the last couple of years. Oh, we can't give up multiple first-round picks for Michael Porter Jr. Oh, you mean a 6'10 guy who can stretch the floor and is a great fit with Steph? Oh, no. NBA champion. Can't do that. Kevin Durant. Now, I will defend the Warriors on this front. And I've reported on this show for a year and a half, and it's been confirmed by other reports. Kevin Durant was going to be traded to the Warriors a year and a half ago, February 2025. He was going to go to Golden State. KD told the Suns, I don't want to go there. That nixed the trade. So, okay, that's it. And then LeBron James has openly, since at least 2022, hey, Bron, hey, who do you want to play with? Who's the guy playing today's game? Who do you want to play with? Without missing a beat, without hesitation. Oh, Steph Curry. Yes, I want to play with Steph Curry. Our fit together is perfect. He's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm, along with Magic Johnson, probably the greatest passers of all time, and it's a great fit. And my athleticism and his ability to score all three levels, and it makes all the sense in the world. LeBron James openly, during this offseason, Golden State be entering. Rich Paul on the Game Over podcast. By the way, can we just give a round of applause to Rich Paul, not just in getting this deal done, but in this guy is new to the content creation space, and he's already a professional. Like, I know he's got Max Kellerman with him, but my gosh, the whiteboard, shout out to Rich Paul. He's unbelievable. But Rich Paul, over and over and over again on the Game Over podcast. Max, can you imagine Bron with Steph and Draymond? I mean, they'd have to put all 82 games on national television. The only thing, this is Rich Paul's actual words, the only thing missing from LeBron James in terms of celebrity is the glove. Other than that, he's Michael Jackson. Like, that's what it is. So, like, Max was telling him, and I'm not saying Max had, sway on LeBron's decision. Max was interested in going. Rich Paul, I'm sure, didn't dissuade him from going to Golden State. LeBron was interested. Steph openly recruited him. Draymond was probably laughing at some memes on Bron's phone that wasn't actually that funny, but he needed to act like they were funny to try and get Bron there. But he wanted them to make a move. And they wouldn't do it. Why wouldn't they do it, you ask? Well, because as Anthony Slater and as Nick Friedel and as other insiders in the Bay Area have talked about, they're kind of trying to prepare for the post-Steph era. Okay. I wasn't aware that Steph was averaging 15 points a game and was a fringe starter. They made, like, there was, you bring Steph off the bench as like a six-man. May I remind you again, Steph averaged 26 a game last year in year 17. He's still easily an all-star. I've got my list right here. Again, you can take this with a grain of salt. Top 10 players of the league. Steph's still in there for me. I got him at number 9. Maybe he's just a hair out, but he's in that conversation. Still, year 17 going to year 18, still in that discussion. He has turned millionaires into billionaires in the Bay Area. He's the reason, probably not the greatest thing ever, but that the Warriors are playing in the Chase Center. This a billion-dollar arena that's one of the crown jewels of the NBA. Oh my gosh, this place is unbelievable. He's the reason that the Golden State Warriors, not the Yankees, not the Lakers, nobody, most valuable sports franchise in the world, Dallas Cowboys, no one's past the Cowboys, Golden State Warriors. Not because they have the best history. A good history, but not the best history. It's not because, best uniforms, best brand. No, most attractive, player in terms of aesthetically in the NBA. Greatest shooter ever, all of it. Ball handling, kids around the world want to play like Steph. You owe that guy to give him a number 2 co-star. And you haven't done it. Well, Bryson, they got Jimmy. Yeah, because Miami couldn't get rid of Jimmy fast enough. Now, to be fair, it's worked. Until Jimmy blows his ACL. And I love Jimmy, then you got to pivot. I'm sorry, you do. Then I hear Anthony Slater go on NBA Today yesterday. He's like, Warriors told me Jimmy Butler making some good progress in the ACL return. It's like, oh my God. Is this really what they're going to sell the fan base? And then I hear Shams Charania. Yeah, Golden State interested in Mario Hezonja. The hell are we doing? This is what we're trying to do to put next to the greatest player in the history of your franchise in his prime? This is what you're doing for Steph, preparing for the era after him? What do you expect to put together? And I love you, Axel Lindenborg. What do you expect to put together in Golden State post-Steph? You think you're going to replicate this? You think, we're just going to find a guy who's going to end up being one of the 10 greatest basketball players of all time and change the way the sport's played? We're going to find the main attraction of the NBA for a decade. We're going to find a guy who's in the conversation for the greatest player of the history of his position. What are you trying to accomplish here? And so, to me, there is a really interesting date on the calendar coming up in about a month. August 29th. Why is that important? Because Steph Curry can sign a contract extension. It'd be the max. 2 years, about $136 million. That's the max. $68 million a year. 2 years, $136. If Steph does not sign it, and I am 85% sure he's going to sign that. But if he doesn't, he's a free agent next summer. Steph Curry is a free agent next summer if that doesn't happen. I'm old enough to remember 2 years ago when Steph participated in the Olympics. He was quite good in the Olympics. Comes back to the States and is just giving interview after interview after interview. The most loyal player in the NBA. Steph, would you trying to finish your career in Golden State? And he's like, yeah, as long as they show me their intent on winning a championship. These moves show you that they're trying to win a championship? When LeBron James has openly said, yeah, I'd love to play with Steph, and you don't make the necessary moves to make that happen? You're going to settle for bring back Kristaps Porzingis, DeAnthony Melton, like good players fit well with the Warriors, but that's not going to move the needle. And then when it's all said and done, probably give Draymond $30 million a year. That's your offseason. That's what you're selling to the greatest player in the history of your franchise. I mean, and I know Bob Myers was still here when this happened. But this Warriors organization, post-2019, really since KD left to go to Brooklyn in the 2019 offseason, has not once put together a roster with the intention that they can win a championship. And yet they still got a championship because they got that guy. Because they got that guy. And you're repaying him by, outside of adding Yaxel Lindeborg, who I love, but he's a rookie, running it back with the exact same roster as last year. It is, in every way, shape, or form, a basketball abomination. And if I'm Steph, God knows I'm not advocating for this. I'm not so sure how quickly I'm getting to the negotiating table on an extension until I get the assurance from the Warriors. And again, it's a month from now. Who knows what could happen before then? But until I get the assurance and the proof of concept, so to speak, because there ain't much, that they can make something happen that gives us a shot to win. Because I'm seeing LeBron's got a chance to win a championship. And I'm seeing, KD was traded to Houston with the intention of making that team a contender. And Jokic is on a contender in Denver. And I'm looking at teams like the Knicks. Like the Knicks don't have a super team by any stretch of the imagination, but they have a team of an unbelievable player in Jalen Brunson, all-star caliber guy in OG Anunoby and Cat, and guys that just fit. And the Warriors don't have that. This organization has failed Steph Curry in unforgivable ways in terms of what they have not done for him based on what he has given them for 17 years. And so it's infuriating. It is truly infuriating as a Warriors fan. Let's check the comments and we'll get Sal in here. Hopefully lift the spirits of carving it up. Patrick says Steph Curry's punch in the air. Yeah, he needs to honestly consider free agency next summer. If this season flops, the fans have already turned on Mike Dunleavy Jr. Patrick, I'm one of the last people on that train. Again, as I said at the top of the segment, I want to give this guy benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, maybe he's got this master plan cooking. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's not Bob Myers. That guy works in Philly now. Unbelievable. Okay, you know what? Let's just get him on the show. Let me get my headphones on so I can hear what he has to say. Joining us now, he was, sorry, my voice is cracking because I'm pissed off right now. But joining us now is a guy who has been on House of Highlights debate show Clash multiple times, done quite well I was actually able to compete with him in the Carmelo Anthony segment back in December. It's available on YouTube. Feel free to check it out. He is now joining Carving Up Live as a diehard fan of LeBron James and a diehard fan of Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not so sure which he loves more. Bring him on the show. It is Sal who's joining us, and he's got the crown on. Sal, is today the greatest day of your life?
I would argue it's probably 3. It's probably wedding, something I can't remember, and this is number 3. I mean, there's moments where you look back and you go, where are we at for that? Bryce Harper signing, college dorm room, Avengers trailer in bed. I'm at work. I get a call from my high school buddy who I work with. He says, we got LeBron. He's been telling me for weeks we got LeBron. He's doing this bit. I go, can you stop? There's nothing on my phone. And then I get the Shams tweet. And my God, do I run around my building? This is the greatest day in recent history. I couldn't be more fired up right now.
I listen, I can imagine. So you were actually on a Clash episode recently talking about LeBron being the GOAT, and I've seen it shared all over your social media. Everybody follows Sal. Where's your social media handles?
We're just SalRock _ on everything.
Check the stuff out. It's really good stuff. So yeah, you kind of talk about your overall reaction, but talk about LeBron's fit with this team, because it's not perfect. I think it's far better than Miami. It's not just seamless, hey, plug them in and figure this thing out. I said earlier, I could see Philadelphia maybe getting off to like a 500 start the first 20 games, then figuring out kind of around January, trade deadline, things of that sort. Obviously, the expectation is now championship. How do you expect LeBron to fit in with the starting 5, which is now probably the best starting 5 in basketball?
Yeah, and I was going to, walking up my stairs, I was going to say, and this is a perfect segue, the last time a starting 5 could potentially all be all-stars, 2017 Warriors, in my opinion. I think this team could legitimately be all-stars. Now, there's only one basketball. VJ Edgecombe's young, right? Maxi's done it. Embiid's done it. Brown's done it. Obviously, LeBron's been every all-stars for his 23 years in the league, 22, right? Here's my whole thing. We just need Joel Embiid in May with 2 75% good knees, okay? You space out. First of all, let's just even back up just a step further. We absolutely rinsed the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hate Boston, right? I'm a Saints fan, but I'm from Philadelphia, so hate the Celtics. We absolutely rinsed them for Paul George and some picks, and I love PG, right? A couple of Boston guys over at DraftKings texted me, can't believe this happened, like all devastated. And I as a competitor, I love it. I love when teams that I hate are mad at my team.
It's the best.
I mean, and Jaylen Brown, like, I don't know how they let him go. I already was thinking championship 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And you give the greatest athlete to ever grace this earth on a team with an MVP, an all-star in Maxey, an all-star in Brown, and a rising star in Edgecombe. That Dean Wade signing we had a couple weeks ago, I can't fathom how we... Now, listen, are we going to beat the Warriors record? Absolutely not. We're too old. But LeBron coming here, he can play 50% of the games like he's been doing, and he can get one of these at the end of it. It was a no-brainer. I've been telling my buddies for months or weeks, the minute Jaylen Brown signed, all I said was this. I said red, white, blue, black, Christmas, city alternate, you name it. I'm getting every color LeBron jersey, bro. No question. Already got text. What's the number? I said, hey, he may go number 76. He may ditch 23. He may go right to 76 because he's going to ride off from the promised land, give the Sixers something that I've been wishing for since 2010. My principal gave us tickets to go to the games. That's how bad we were. We were 3 in a million. This is why we wake up that's why we play this right here.
It is. And I think, listen, like you said, it's And I talked about this earlier. If this was about best chance to win a championship among the 4 teams LeBron was interested in, then it's not close. Like again, the Warriors, it was the best basketball fit, but they still would have had to make a move to really compete with San Antonio, OKC. Then out east, I've said it for months because we've all known that Cleveland was a possibility. It's just a worse version of the Lakers. Two ball dominant guards who are cones defensively. That doesn't work. And 2 coaches who fold in the playoffs, by the way. And then Miami. Sure, you got Giannis. Sure, you've got Bam Adebayo. That's really you got Wiggins and what's the man's name? Mitchell, the guard for Miami. Shooters. Yeah. It's a bad fit. You go to Philadelphia now. You mentioned Dean Wade. Anthony Simons was kind of under the radar. Like you've got a nice group of shooters. Obviously, Max can shoot the basketball. Does Joel Embiid become like a catch and shoot guy like that? That's the thing I worry about, and that's the next question I was going to have for you. Is that you talk about Embiid being healthy, and that's obviously a massive question.
Yeah.
Maybe it's as simple as LeBron's the smartest player ever. He'll figure it out. But how different Philadelphia plays when Embiid's on the floor versus when he's not, I think could be the kind of the nail in the tire, so to speak, in them potentially winning a championship, not winning a championship, all of that. Do you see that as being an issue? Do you see a situation where an Embiid for Anthony Davis conversation maybe comes about?
Yeah. So, it's a big, I think this offseason is going to be the hardest that most of these NBA players have worked. And it sounds weird to say that, but LeBron brings something to the table that can't be replicated. And, they say it's LeBron's way or the highway. I don't always think that's the case. I think this is Embiid and Maxi's team. Okay. We're already changing our play style with Jaylen Brown because he can shoot 30 times a game, where PG was only shooting around 15. I think I think this offseason is going to be really tough because you can tell we've seen it the past 10 years in the playoffs. When Embiid's not on the floor, it's a completely different switch. I think it's going to be tough for LeBron too. This is his first time. Yes, he was the 3 in LA, the tail end, no question. But I think this is the first time where LeBron can look around and be like, all of these players are younger. All of these players may not be better, but they're more scoring efficient. I may just be the pass guy and just go to the rack 3 times a game, and I could play 25 minutes. So I just think that the coaching this is the hardest offseason because they all got to get used to this new environment. Jaylen Brown's coming off of how many years was he in Boston? That was a big
decade,
adjustment. Yeah. What was it? 10?
10 years, 2016 to 26. Yeah.
So, and I was watching earlier, you were saying about Golden State and Rich Paul talking about, and just everybody talking about LeBron playing with Steph. I mean, you saw the Olympic success, and they're just 2 of the greatest to ever do it. And you get them together, but LeBron's looking at it like, one, I don't want to be in the West. You're telling me I can just beat up on the East?
But could I make the case the East is actually harder than the West today?
Yeah, I mean, with the Giannis, with the
Giannis, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Pistons. That's I would argue, but in some ways, though, so I apologize for cutting you off, but
no,
in some ways, I think it's, and I said this at the top of the show, I think LeBron embraces this challenge in a way Golden State's comfortable because it's close to home and it's 2 buddies, right? Miami, he's been there before. Cleveland, been there twice. This is, I don't want to say outside of his comfort zone per se, but it's different. It's something original, something we've never seen before. It's a different chapter as opposed to a repeat of Cleveland twice, Miami, with Steph, all of those things. Because technically, he can say, well, I did play with Steph, right? In the Olympics, we won a gold medal together. So technically, we did win a championship. So I've checked everything I want on the list. I want to get 5. Honestly, some of it might be, I want to have more titles than Steph. I love Steph, but I want more titles than Steph. I want this, even though LeBron era, so to speak, is probably over as far as him obviously being the best player in the league, he looks at this as, it's different, it's new, I play a role that I haven't necessarily played in my career, and I get to kind of cap my career the way that Jordan didn't get to, Magic didn't get to, Bird, Kareem, just go down the list. I mean, is that part of it, you think?
Oh, 100%. You hit on so many points that I was going to bring up. One, I truthfully think that, there's people out there that think that Jordan's better.
Right.
Blasphemy. But they think that's true. And they think that Steph's also better. I think he's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm not going to argue with, I'm never going to bash Steph anywhere where you are at, especially how great you did on House of Highlights. Now,
Appreciate it.
I will say, I think coming to Philly, he can theoretically pass Steph in rings. It's a 2-year deal, which we didn't even talk about the money version. $4 million for
nothing.
We paid Tobias Harris $17 quintillion. We're paying him $4 million. Now, and you said Jordan, he goes to the Wizards. His last game's in Philly, ironically, a regular season game, though. LeBron is seeing like, okay, we got young talent. I could potentially win 2 rings, go tie Kobe in rings, and do something that no NBA player has already never done, but it'll absolutely never happen again, is win with the Cavs, the Heat, the Lakers, and the Sixers. It'll be 4 different teams winning an NBA Finals. 4 different locker rooms, 4 different states. It's 4 different everything out of the comfort zone, like you said. I think this is like he's looking at James Harden being like, this dude can't play in the playoffs. I already beat him once in the finals. Like if Giannis, I'm not gonna. It's just we're the same kind of player. We're not gonna mesh well. I kind of didn't do great in Miami. We got our 2-peat. Get me out of here. Cleveland. He actually said on Bob Doe Sports Golf, when he golfed with them, he said like, I did everything with Cleveland. I lost with them. I won with them. I cried with them. I lived there. Like he tied the bow on that. I think, like you said, Philly's a new spot. And he's looking around being like, bro, I can play 45 games. I can average 10 points till I'm 62. He says, trust the process at the New York card show. Like
that was the giveaway. He
on,
tried
bro.
to walk it back. He kind of slipped up. And I think even Halliburton let the cat out of the bag when he's like, what is this, year 76? And Bron's like, shut up. Like, yep. I think the Adam Silver quote probably made him was like, because Rich Paul said, we're just going to wait longer. Which I was like, bro, what are you doing? But no, I think it's also, again, a new chapter. We've got a few comments. It looks like Chili Brothers says LeBron can be the 3rd or 4th option, shoot 50% for the field, put up 18 points, and same move for longevity's sake. Again, like,
that's
be
my
efficient,
dog right there.
Do your thing. Like it's great. It makes sense. My man Ryan Flowers, Clutch Sports. There's some truth to this. He's going to get booed out of Philly if they don't win, especially with his passive aggressive behavior. He will get booed if they don't win a chip. Again, that is the pressure component. People are like, oh, you're taking the easy way out. First of all, no easy way to winning a championship. Second of all, man, he's never played in the Northeast before. New York, Boston, Philly. Like, it's a different kind of pressure, expectation. Cleveland, man, they're just happy to have you, right? Miami, chill city, Lakers, there was pressure to win in LA, but it's not like it's going to make or break their franchise. They're the freaking Lakers. Philadelphia, proud franchise. Some of the greatest players in the history of the league have played in Philadelphia. It's been 4 decades, right? Like, it's the 83 Sixers team, one of the best ever. AI carried y'all in 01 there, but that's it. And so it's so much of this, I think, is I don't want to get too ahead of myself in terms of like what would LeBron's legacy be if they win, because we got to see how it plays out, right? Like, we got to see what the fit is. Again, Joel Embiid, with all due respect, never been to a conference finals, much less an NBA finals. I guess my question next would be, this roster is by and large kind of filled out. Are there any questions? Because I know a few Sixers fans I've talked to in the past, they're like, I don't know about Nick Nurse. Is that a concern for you? Because that's been a knock. And also the fact that, this was, people blame Nick Nurse for this too. The series in New York, no Brown and no LeBron, was not competitive.
No, I think that, what you said is correct. I got a call from my buddy today. He's a Joker guy. He's not really, he said, he's a Joker guy. And he said, man, you're going to pay all this money to go to these games and boo LeBron out of your own stadium. And it dawned on me like this, like if Sixers lose big games, like it ruins, like me and my wife were on vacation with that Ben Simmons pass up against the Hawks. It like ruins part of the vacation. Like it ruins your next 6 to 8 days. So, LeBron coming here, the old heads will boo him. I think that's a fair assessment. But he's a dog. Like he is such a competitor. He can thrive in that. Like Embiid, like they're booing him. He's going like that. Like I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. Now, Nick Nurse, I'm all in on Nick Nurse. It was Doc Rivers for me. My man's calling timeouts with the momentum up 5. late in the fourth quarter, we got -2 time. We're getting texts. We're getting teed up because we don't got a timeout. We're calling it in a National Basketball Association playoff game. The minute we dropped him and we got Nick Nurse, my wife goes, "That's the dude that won in Toronto?" I said, "Yep." She said, "All right, and we don't got to worry about timeouts. It's got to be another problem." And I totally agree. And like I said, it's going to be the hardest offseason for Nick Nurse, the coaching staff, and the players. And I think he's the one to do it because he's been there for a couple years now, and he's at least respected. He's not going to be the pushover. I don't think LeBron's going to be the coach here. I think he's going to help the young guys learn from the older guys in a way of how we can all mesh together. He's going to see how Embiid does his jab step. He's going to know where to go by day 6 because he's just that basketball. His basketball intelligence is insane. I think that I love the Nick Nurse. I love that Nick Nurse is here. Okay.
I mean, and again, like some of this is like we were talking about earlier. Maybe some of the fit questions are, LeBron's the smartest player ever. He'll just figure it out over time. Like it's this team is going to look very, very, very different and play very different from day 1 of training camp to game, 50, much less once you get to postseason basketball, for sure. Last question before I get out of here. Are you going to guarantee a championship now?
I'm going to put a Sal Rock stamp that in the 2026-2027 basketball year, the Philadelphia 76ers will absolutely win a championship, and I cannot wait to go to that parade.
Oh, that city will be no. I mean, we've seen it when Philadelphia, when the Eagles win, but that place will be a madhouse. Sal Campisi, great stuff. Again, this is the last second thing. I texted you at 1 in the afternoon, like, hey, can you come on? And because I wanted a 76ers fans perspective. Shout out to you, my man. Keep crushing it out there. You're doing great on House of Highlights. Every time I see you, you're cooking people in the LeBron Jordan debate. Great stuff as always. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate you, man. This show's great. You're the man, Bryson. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Sal Rock, my man. I appreciate him stopping by. Listen, he's spun on there's a level of, because that's been a big thing in LeBron's career too, is, LeBron's actually the coach. And there's been guys that have been quote unquote, I guess, pushovers. David Blatt was a horrible fit in Cleveland. I know that was a thing. And obviously you talk about Frank Vogel, more of an assistant coach than a head coach. Turns out, guess the Warriors signed Frank Vogel for nothing, right? No, I'm just kidding. Vogel's a nice assistant. Nick Nurse can say, hey, dude, I want a championship. I don't think coach relationship is going to be a problem. Bron and JJ Redick got on great, so that wasn't an issue. Got a few. Patrick says Nick Nurse is also a Clutch Sports client, so that's okay. Well, there you go. So is Maxie. That's a real thing. Got some comments from Ryan Flowers. LeBron's the most talented basketball player ever, but I respect Curry more for staying and winning. Ryan, you and everybody knows how I feel about Steph. I mean, honestly, guys, my favorite athlete of all time. Without the leading part, I wish he'd be more like Bron and forcing his front office to make moves. Because how's the loyal thing working in Golden State? I mean, they haven't, outside of 2025, they have not been a legit contender since he carried them to a title in 2022. No question. And let's remember, he is in his 40 years old. So I'm at LeBron. That's the thing, too. And I think people understand that. This might be the first year, and maybe this will change. I think this is the first year of LeBron's career. You got the people who, think he's never missed a shot, and you got the people who, the Skip Bayless end of the spectrum, right? I think he is, for the first time in a while, properly rated. He's a top 20 player. He can be occasionally a top 10 player in the league. He's dangerous as they'll get out come playoffs. You don't want to run into that guy come playoff time. And he will be more distributor than scorer next year. I could see this. I think Bron did average over 20 as a rookie. I could see this being the first year of Bron's career where he doesn't average 20 points a game because he's focused on getting the ball to Maxey, Jaylen Brown. He'll get his. He'll have occasional, maybe 30-point games, what have you. But I could see his averages being 19, 8, and 6 for the season. Shooting 54, 55% from the field. Ryan also says super teams are a thing in the NBA more. Example, the current reigning champions. Correct. It's the crappy part about that is that the current CBA prevents that from happening. So where teams have to make moves that they don't want to make in order to not fall into the second, or to be able to stay under the second apron. Like it's dynasties are good. Super teams are always dynasties, obviously, but dynasties are good for basket. They're good for sports. Part of the reason the NFL has been the most popular league for my whole life plus is because you've had the Chiefs and the Patriots and the Cowboys and the Niners and the Packers and the Steelers. Like, having a villain, the NBA don't have a villain right now. I really don't think Philly's a villain. Well, that team that hasn't won in 4 decades, they're the villain now. Philadelphia as a city might be more of a villain than the actual team. Like, there's not anyone on that team. Oh, God, I can't stand. There's the LeBron haters. That's that. I can't stand Tyrese Maxey. It's like, that's not a thing. Like the Warriors in 2017. Steph with the shimmy, and Draymond's loud and obnoxious. And how dare KD do what he did? So that's what it is. Patrick, if Philly does this right, play Embiid on a pitch count of 55 games, keep him out for the postseason. Jaylen Brown is a bona fide closer. Man, again, Sal sort of mentioned it. He's a ticking time bomb in terms of his body. He just is. It sucks. I hate it for him, but that's something you got to worry about. You just do. Ryan, not sure. I disagree with this. I'm not sure how much of a competitor he is when a large portion of teammates have been guys like Wade, Bosh, AD, Luka, Kyrie, etc. I think people have to temper their expectations. I think if you're still playing at this level, now about to be 24 years in, and you're still an all-star at 40 plus years of age, you're a pretty good competitor. Acting like Bron's 25, everyone just relax. Yeah, I don't. People are excited because it's LeBron. It's, oh my God, and he's maybe the missing piece to us winning. I don't think it's an excitement of, oh my gosh, we got the best player in the world and we're going to win the next 3 champions. I don't think it's like the excitement when he went to Miami or when he went back to Cleveland or even the Lakers to a lesser degree, because the Lakers weren't quite ready to win yet. Patrick, Steph seeing LeBron play for happiness. He needs to turn on the burners on this atrocious front office. Missing the playoffs will test his patience. Well, the thing is, he's missed 2 of the last 3 years. And I just don't understand the logic. I don't understand it. Of this guy is still amazing, and he loves being a Warrior. Maybe that's part of the problem is that they take him for granted. It's like, oh, Steph's just going to be here so we can kind of sit on our hands and, make money because we got Steph Curry. Sell tickets because we got Steph Curry. Get 40 national TV games a year because he's still, ratings-wise, the biggest attraction in the league among individual players. And the thing is, too, Bron's up. If Bron were playing for happiness, he went to Cleveland. It's sentimental. He goes there. Are they going to win a championship? Heck no, they're not winning a championship. But he can go there. Harden's going to collapse. But it's whatever. It's just, jeez. So like LeBron's compete for a championship. Steph's like, hey, Mike, you gonna like make a trade or something, or are we gonna? Oh no, we're chasing Mario Hezonja. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I wasn't sure. Patrick, everyone should be happy now. NBA schedule will be stacked. Can't wait to see who's playing Christmas. They'll probably They're probably going to put Philadelphia in LA for Christmas Day, I'd imagine. Like that be LeBron's, because they're only going to play the Lakers twice, obviously, being the Eastern Conference. That'll probably be the Christmas game. Or they could have Bron versus Steph on Christmas. They could do that as well. But I would bet every dollar I got that Philly and New York Knicks is going to be opening night, the first game of opening night. I every dollar I got. 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whenever. Knicks get their rings. All the celebrities are at MSG. LeBron's there, and this new super team in Philly. Like that is box office right there. Christmas, it'll either be Sixers and Lakers or Sixers and Warriors. That's what it'll be. So Patrick, Ryan says loyalty, not a chip chaser. I said this at the top of the show. I truly don't get how that's a bad thing. Like maybe I'm not competitive enough, or I don't know what it is. Go where you have the best chance to win. Isn't the whole point, especially for professional sports, is winning? Like winning is what makes the money. Winning is what makes the owners richer and the players richer and builds guys' brands and makes the fans happy. Like that's what it's all about. What Herm Edwards say, you play to win the game. That's what it's about. When people were, now this was like way bigger than Bron going to Philly. But KD going to Golden State, how could KD do that? What's he supposed to do? Stay in OKC with Westbrook? No, he's not going to do. Hey, play with Russell Westbrook or Steph Curry. That's not even a question. The question for me, for KD, was why the F did you leave Steph Curry for Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn? Like, what are you doing? KD's decisions post-Golden State have been real head scratchers. Mostly the Brooklyn one. The other two were trades, to be fair. I keep wanting to say Patrick. I'm sorry. Ryan, when you think about through the grand scheme of things, the NBA is in bad shape when the league and fans are geeked for a 40. Oh, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. The NBA is in as good a shape as ever. Knicks are the NBA champions. Lakers got a top 5 player in the game. Giannis is finally on a team that they may not win a championship, but they've got a shot to be competitive. Miami's a great organization. The problem with the NBA is that Steph Curry's playing meaningless basketball games. Golden State, you hear me? Steph Curry's not playing games of note. Maybe want to change that a little bit. Trey Murphy, somebody. Bring somebody in with this to give you a shot. Wouldn't say a pick us, but gee whiz. Okay, that's a meaningless signing. Sorry, it was Portland signed some guy. There's a way to do it like Curry. He got his chips. Again, yes, but some of that going back to the Jordan conversation. Oh, Jordan never left Chicago. Yeah, easy when they draft Scottie Pippen, hire Phil Jackson, put the best roster in the league around you. Yeah, why would you leave? That's why I say, why did KD leave? He had the best roster around him. He had everything for him. Best coach in the league, best co-star in the league, best organization. Well, when they had still a Bob Myers and Clay was still great and Draymond was the best defensive. Why the F would you leave that? Oh, because I got to win my own championship elsewhere. Oh, okay. How's that worked? I mean, honestly, how's that worked? KD hasn't played in a conference final since leaving Golden State. Not a conference finals. Chase winning, man. I will defend anybody who chases a better opportunity for themselves professionally, in terms of certainly whatever makes you happy. You do you. An argument can be made, yeah, Cleveland probably makes LeBron happier. Golden State playing with his buddies probably makes him happier. Is he going to win? He's not winning in Cleveland. He's not winning in Golden State if they don't make a move. Why am I still playing? Why am I still putting untold hours into my body, my diet, why am I doing this? For sentimental retirement tour? I'm not doing that. No disrespect to the guys that did, but that's not what I want. I want to win. I miss what it feels like, maybe not going to 8 straight finals, the toll that takes your body. I miss being in the biggest games, playing the Western Conference Finals, playing in He can do that now. And by the way, Sal mentioned it. People in the comments have mentioned it. There's pressure with that. There's no pressure going to Cleveland. There's some pressure in Golden State, but it's not. No one's crushing LeBron if the Warriors don't win the title. No one's crushing the Heat if he doesn't. They're crushing him if Philadelphia doesn't win, barring catastrophic injuries. So that's part of it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, because this has been LeBron from start to finish, and I'm still trying to cope with the Warriors' inactivity. But I want to do one topic before we get out of here. Before that, this is already, we've already announced it, but we'll play the trailer though. The first episode is actually going to air today at 5 p.m. We've decided to postpone it to next Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is over the course of the next few months. Every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, will be a brand new episode of a new series that I'm calling The 21 Greatest Players of the 21st Century. Been working on it. Really started it last year, ramped it up in the last few months, doing the research, the editing, recording segments, all of it. And we're ready to release them for everybody's consumption. I'm really excited about this. Again, people talk about who's the greatest player of all time, all these similar things. Again, you'll hear in the trailer kind of what the impetus for the series is. But I'm an 03 kid. I was born in 2003. So I didn't see Jordan. I didn't see, obviously Kareem. I obviously didn't see Russell and Wilt and Hakeem. And, I didn't see most of Shaq. Like, I didn't see these. I want to rate the guys I watched play basketball. I feel like that's a more objective list. Go over the accomplishments. Go over what they did in their careers. And each week, each Friday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, right here on the Carving It Up YouTube channel, will be a brand new episode counting down the 21 greatest players of the 21st century. The first episode will come out a week from tonight. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Carving It Up. Very excited to get into it. as we go to break, here's the trailer for the 21 greatest players of the 21st century. Take a look. You know, basketball barbershop talk often centers around who's the greatest of all time. Is it LeBron or is it Jordan? Or who's the greatest big man ever? Would you like somebody with the longevity of someone like Kareem, or would you like somebody with the pure dominance like a Shaquille O'Neal? Or on that note, is Steph Curry better than Magic Johnson? Can we have that discussion? Cut it out, because I want to reframe the conversation. Matter of fact, I want to start a new one. The NBA is 80 years old and going as strong as ever. And the biggest reason for that is the unprecedented talent that the league has produced since the turn of the millennium. From the dominant big guys, Bryant to shot, to the little guards making big shots.
Curry, way downtown, bang, bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Or the do-it-all wings, who control absolutely everything on the floor.
LeBron James with no regard for human life!
This game has seen some true icons in the last 26 years. Certainly, I have nothing but the utmost respect for the all-time greats that came before. After all, they paved the way for future generations to compete at the highest level on the floor and show the world what they're capable of doing. But over the course of this series, I want to highlight the greatest players that we've seen in recent years, the ones who have shaped where the game is today and will continue to shape it for the future greats to come. So without further ado, let's get right into it. These are the 21 greatest players of the 21st century. And that will be what you hear before every episode of the 21 greatest players of the 21st century. Again, I'm very, very excited. I've been working on this for a while. We hope you enjoy the series. The first episode, first of obviously 21, we'll probably do like a just missed the cut or honorable mentions, guys that just barely missed out on the list. But episode 21 comes out a week from tonight, next Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time, right here on YouTube. Check it out. Each episode will be about a half hour or so. We're looking over the careers, the highlights, the lowlights, obviously plenty of current guys on the list. We'll go to as far as we can go, the 2025-26 season. So I'm super excited. We hope you guys enjoy it as well. Real quick, I just saw this and then we'll get to our final segment. Charles, this is from Legion of Hoops, which I know is an aggregate Twitter account, but still. Charles Barkley says LeBron ruined his day. This is Chuck's quote. I was headed to the golf course and now I got to turn around because this doofus had to make his announcement. Don't interrupt my damn schedule. I've been playing golf all week and now y'all piss me off because I got to work on a Friday. I guess because he was on Stephen A's show, I think is why he was saying that. Don't interrupt Chuck's golf. That's Chuck's gotten better, by the way, to his credit. I'll be honest, man. That's the only part that did irritate me. Is like, my man. How long do you need to make this call? If it's not money related, so take that component out. If it's about winning, which I get. Do I be loyal to Cleveland? Do I go where it's comfortable in Golden State? Do I try to make it work in Miami? Or do I go where I have the best chance to win? I get any of those options. There's no way it should take you 3 weeks. There's no way. And by the way, before that, because he knew he was leaving the Lakers before that. So there you go. So that, I'm on vacation. And I don't want to sound complaining. I laying on the beach, reading. It was great. I think the last time I did a podcast at the beach was like 5 years ago. And that was because the finals due to COVID got postponed to July. When I'm at the beach, I don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do any content creation or any podcast, I should say. I brought my mic, not ring light, but all my equipment to do the show just in case Bron announced. It's like, this should have been done. Okay. So I hear where Chuck's coming from. And it's like a lot of these sports shows, their main hosts are on vacation. Like they can't do reactions to their shows. Like if this had been announced on July, 8th, this wouldn't have been a problem. So I don't know. But to me, the man who deserves the most credit is Rich Paul. Again, I said it earlier. This man is very new to the content creation space. Boy, did he create some content. The whiteboard might honestly be one of the greatest basketball podcast segments of all time. It's just, when he, like with Dallas, he wrote the Mavs like off in the corners, like oil. It's like the oil money in Dallas. Like that. Bron's thinking about that. Like it was really, and shout out to Max Kellerman too. I love that Max is having this career renaissance. Very deserving of it. Okay. So last segment before we get out of here, because In the meantime, 21 greatest players of the 21st century will come out every Friday. But for the next few weeks, going to take a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a, some time away from carving it up. The 21 greatest players show will air every Friday. So I did want to say this before I get out of here because it's become maybe my least favorite topic in sports. And it shouldn't be this way. So over, it really started 3.5 years ago, but it's reached a fever pitch at this point. Fever pitch, Indiana Fever. You know who I'm talking about, Caitlin Clark. So the Caitlin Clark discourse from all parties involved is, there's no other way to say it but toxic. It just is. I mean, when you're women's basketball, which has, in large part due to Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, has Asia Wilson might already be the GOAT, 4-time MVP. The popularity in the sport is higher than it's ever been. Interest is higher, attendance is higher, TV ratings are higher, jersey sales, everything's up. League is going in the right direction. The WNBA, that is. And women's college basketball is popular, all of it. And in the midst of this rise in women's basketball, and the WNBA in particular, women's basketball has been hijacked by the worst kinds of people. That's what it is. And Caitlin Clark, I'm sorry, by no fault of her own, has somehow, some way become a political talking point for the disingenuous members of both sides. I mean, when you've got people on the right want so badly for her to be what they portray her as. Oh, a wilting little flower. And oh, she's just treated like she's just, I mean, it's like they should, I mean, Congress is investigating it. They sent a warning. We're going to investigate the WNBA. Don't you have better things to do? Your Congress. All of these things. Oh my gosh, this poor Caitlin Clark. First of all, she's one of the biggest trash talkers in the league. Part of that, rightly or wrongly, you bring some of that criticism on yourself. And I think Caitlin understands that. The context she's dealt with, especially as it relates to the play with, I believe it's Melissa Thomas a few weeks ago against I think they were playing the Connecticut Sun. Yeah, that should have been a flagrant 2 in the moment, toss. She still got suspended, so it wasn't a problem. Caitlin comes back. She does the press conference afterwards, after she comes back from injury. She's like, guys, I stand by everything I said. That was a flagrant. And it was absolutely a flagrant. But she's not a wilting little flower who just can't take contact. People who obsess over any form of contact that Caitlin Clark deals with shows me, oh, you don't watch basketball. I see another guard. He plays differently, plays more off ball. We're talking about all shows. Steph Curry. I see Steph get grabbed. Steph's got literally scars on his shoulder from games. He'll be bleeding during games. Pushed all over the floor, by the way, with no foul calls, mind you. The man, there was a game against the Suns last year where the Suns, late in the game, the Warriors were up 1 with like 10 seconds left, so the Suns are trying to foul. The Suns are trying to foul him, and the refs won't call it. Like, no one's saying it. There's conspiracy against Steph. And then on the other side of the coin, I feel like there are those. I think people, oddly, on the right and the left want Caitlin Clark to be the same thing. People on the right want her to be this victim of fill in the blank. Oh, players don't like her because she's white and straight. Yes, Caitlin Clark is the first white straight player in the history of the WNBA. We've never seen anything like that before. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's almost like Sabrina Ionescu is white and straight. Like it's, and I feel like there are those on the left that also want her to be that, oddly, so that they can make her an enemy. Some conservatives want to make her a hero, want to make her a martyr of sorts. And some on the left want to vilify her and make her the villain. I mean, when you have, and I know this is the extreme, but this is the USA Today. Nancy Armour. I never heard of her prior to this, and I'm sorry that I have. She wrote an article about Caitlin Clark flopping. Now, is Caitlin Clark flop? Yeah, like she's gotten some Luka comparisons, not just for whining to the officials, but flopping. That's got to stop. Caitlin flops a lot. But she couldn't just make the article about that. She wrote in the piece, she compared Caitlin Clark and her relationship to the WNBA with other WNBA players. I mean, I don't even know how the F this got in this person's head. Compared her to Carolyn Bryant. Now, if Carolyn Bryant, if that name doesn't ring a bell, that's the white lady back in 1955 who said Emmett Till whistled at her, and you know what happened to Emmett Till after that? And then she said after the fact, oh, actually, I lied. That actually never happened. Worst of humanity. As vicious a racist as there was. You're comparing Caitlin Clark to her? What? Women's basketball, I will say it again, has been hijacked by the worst of people. By people who want division, who, let's be honest, profit off of division. If the conversation is who's better, Caitlin Clark or Paige Beckers, that's fun. That's the kind of stuff that shows like mine, hey, let's get into that. Paige won a championship, but Caitlin accomplished more, but Paige also dealt with an injury, so she missed a year, and Paige was amazing in a rookie year, and Caitlin was out, and who's better? That's fun. That's great. I'm all in on that. If the conversation is, I wish Caitlin would speak out more against the bad actors that are using her name for nefarious purposes, she already has. Multiple times over. And the crappy thing with the grifters is until the grift runs out, they're not going to stop. They're not. It's the crappy part. They're not going to stop. And so I really, really hope, I feel bad for her and I feel bad for the players in the WNBA who dealt with, in their own words, racism that they've never dealt with in their entire careers prior to now. I really hope that this dies out at some point soon, because no other league deals with this. No, none. This is not a problem because let's be honest, all the other major American team sports are all men's leagues, right? NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, NHL. College football's kind of a pro sport now, but it's still college football. College football is the second most popular sport in this country to the NFL. And the WNBA is only rising. Ratings are up. Jersey sales are up. Attendance is up. Interest is up. All of these things. This idea that Caitlin should be traded. Oh, she's the golden goose. Therefore, you should never make any contact with her. You should never antagonize her when she's antagonizing you on the court is absurd. And this idea also that she's willingly being used as the symbol of white supremacy is just false. It's not true. And I feel bad for everybody involved. Honest to God, I do. This all started in that 2023 national championship game. LSU beats Iowa, and Angel Reese does a 5-second, you can't see me, John Cena, points to the ring finger, and all hell breaks loose. The people who want to see conflict and divide, they got their moment, even though that's obviously not what Angel was trying to do. And Caitlin herself understood that. And I think has understood that this entire process. She's not this right-wing hero, no matter how much the right and the left want her to be. I mean, we don't have the rights to show the footage. If you guys have seen it, check it out. It's kind of a cool moment. WNBA All-Star weekend is this weekend. And Barack Obama, we know how much President Obama loves basketball and supports the NBA, WNBA. He showed up. I think they had an event at the new Obama Center, the new basketball court that's there. And they had him mic'd up talking to Caitlin Clark. And it was really dope. He's like, hey, don't listen to the other stuff. Like, you're a baller. You're a hooper. Don't listen to that stuff. And I hope she doesn't. I hope that the worst of humanity don't continue to use her name, no matter how badly she begs for them not to use their, to throw their racist and disgusting views out on the rest of the WNBA. There are legit criticisms of Caitlin Clark on the court. I think she whines too much. I do. I love the trash. I've said that for years. I love the trash talk. The whine of the officials gets old. It just does. It's what drives me crazy. I love Luka. It drives me crazy about Luka. Like, bro, play the game. The flopping. Yeah, it's a problem. Those are legitimate basketball criticisms. If Caitlin says anything nefarious, we should criticize her for it. She hasn't. Hadn't said a word. And also these players who are just playing the game the way that they've always played it, all because of, even if it is a dirty play, you think she's doing that, they're doing that because she's straight and white. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? As if she's like the reverse Jackie Robinson or some, whacked out crap like that. So, given I'll be taking the next few weeks off from the show, I really wanted that on the record because this has truly become my least favorite topic in sports. One of the reasons many people love sports is the stories, is the drama that comes with it. I've said all the time that sports is the only live storytelling that we're watching it as it happened. That's one of the beauties of it. And the off-court stuff and the drama, or off the field, off the court, whatever stuff, and the drama and all this, the rivalries, that's what makes it fun. But at the end of the day, they're all related to on the field of play. And when a league that is booming in popularity, and listen, with more attention comes more of this. I understand that. But with a league that is booming in popularity, that everybody is having to be subjected to the worst forms of humanity, sucks. Truly sucks. So my main takeaway from this, both the extreme right and the extreme left, the grifters online, actually want Caitlin to be the same thing, and she's not. And I know that's bad for their business, but she's not. She's a great basketball player, having an excellent season. Fever playing good basketball. Caitlin's healthy, thank God. It's great to see. She missed most of last year. Great to see her on the court playing great basketball. Had an unbelievable game last week against, I believe it was Seattle. Let's talk about the games. How difficult is it? Or not even the game. Let's talk about an objective reality. Stuff that's actually happening, not stuff you want to happen. You want to either make her the victim or antagonize her. And there's really not an excuse to do both. Or either, I should say. So that's where I'm at. And with that, emergency episode of Carving Up Live. We ended up going 90 minutes. It was fun. Once again, the 21 greatest players of the 21st century. Episode 1 will be airing next week, Friday night, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time, right here on the Carving Up YouTube channel. I'm very excited to unveil this to you guys over the course of the next few months. Curious to hear your feedback, all of these different things. So again, stay tuned. We're going to have a ton of content coming your way. I'm going to be taking time off from the podcast, but we'll obviously have content from today's show, from obviously this new series coming up. So very excited for everybody to see it. With that, hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope everyone has a great rest of your summer. We'll be back. Listen, make no mistake about it. We'll be back in time to talk about football. We are so close to NFL college. Cannot wait. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Great rest of their summer. Stay safe out there. God bless y'all. Peace out. And Steph, make the Warriors do something, please. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.